Palm Sunday, the King comes riding. Matthew 21, 1-11. The morning sun cast golden streaks across the Mount of Olives as Jesus prepared to enter Jerusalem. The city was swelling with pilgrims, over 200,000 people by some estimates, all coming for Passover. But this year was different. The buzz in the crowd wasn't just about the festival. "Teacher," Peter asked, scratching his beard, "why send for a donkey? Wouldn't walking be easier?" Jesus smiled knowingly. "Go, you'll find a colt tied there. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks, say, 'The Lord needs it.'" As the disciples fetched the animal, I noticed something peculiar. It had never been ridden. Yet when Jesus mounted it, the young donkey didn't buck or resist. The crowd erupted. "Look, it's the prophet from Nazareth!" a woman cried, tearing off her outer cloak to spread on the road. "Hosanna to the Son of David!" a group of children chanted, waving palm branches. A Pharisee named Eleazar pushed through the crowd, his face red with anger. "Rabbi, silence these fools. They're calling you the Messiah." Jesus simply replied, "I tell you, if they keep quiet, the stones will cry out." As the procession neared the city gates, I noticed Jesus' shoulders shaking. At first I thought it was laughter, until I saw the tears streaming down his face. "Jerusalem, Jerusalem," he whispered, "if only you knew what would bring you peace." Monday, Holy Rage in the Temple, Mark 11:15-19. The next morning we returned to Jerusalem. The temple courts were in chaos, not with worship, but commerce. The stench of animals mixed with the metallic clink of coins. 50 shekels for a Passover lamb, a merchant barked. "But that's double last year's price," a farmer protested. "Take it or leave it. The priest won't accept blemished sacrifices." Jesus' hands clenched into fists. I'd never seen him like this. With a roar, he overturned the first money table. Coins skittered across the marble floor like frightened mice. "My house shall be called a house of prayer for all nations, but you've made it a den of robbers." The high priest's guards moved to intervene, but the crowd's cheers made them hesitate. As Jesus cleared the court, something remarkable happened. The blind and lame came forward, and he healed them right there in the temple. Later, as we walked back to Bethany, Andrew pointed to the fig tree Jesus had cursed. "Rabbi, look! It's already withering." Jesus nodded solemnly. "Have faith in God. If you say to this mountain, 'Be lifted up and thrown into the sea,' and don't doubt in your heart, it will happen." Wednesday, the plot thickens. Matthew 26, 1-5, 14-16. 2 days before Passover, the tension in Jerusalem was palpable. In the shadows of the high priest's palace, Caiaphas convened a secret meeting. "We can't arrest him during the feast," a temple guard warned. "The people may riot." Caiaphas stroked his oiled beard. "Don't you understand? It's better for one man to die than for the whole nation to perish." Meanwhile, in Bethany, at the home of Simon the leper, a woman named Mary broke open an alabaster jar of pure nard, worth a laborer's yearly wage. The fragrance filled the house as she anointed Jesus' feet, wiping them with her hair. Judas Iscariot sprang up. "Why this waste? We could have sold this for 300 denarii and given it to the poor." Jesus fixed Judas with a piercing gaze. "Leave her alone. She has done a beautiful thing to me. The poor you will always have, but you will not always have me." That very night, Judas slipped away to meet with the chief priests. "What will you give me if I deliver him to you?" They counted out 30 silver coins, the price of a slave, Exodus 21:32. From that moment, Judas watched for an opportunity to betray Jesus. Thursday, the Last Supper, John 13-17. The upper room was prepared, the Passover lamb roasted over coals. Yet an uneasy silence hung over the disciples. Suddenly Jesus stood, removed his outer garment, and tied a towel around his waist. He poured water into a basin and began washing our feet. Peter recoiled. "Lord, you'll never wash my feet." Jesus replied gently, "Unless I wash you, you have no part with me." After supper, Jesus took bread, blessed it, and broke it. "Take and eat. This is my body." Then the cup. "This is my blood of the covenant, poured out for many." I noticed Judas fidgeting. Jesus whispered something to him, and he rushed out into the night. What followed was the most intimate teaching I'd ever heard from Jesus, about the coming Holy Spirit, about love, about the vine and branches. His voice broke as he prayed for us. Father, protect them by the power of your name. Friday, the trial and crucifixion, John 18-19. The torches in Gethsemane cast eerie shadows as the mob arrived. Judas stepped forward with his infamous kiss. Peter drew his sword, cutting off Malchus's ear, but Jesus healed it instantly. The trials were a blur of injustice. Anna's interrogation. I spoke openly to the world. Caiaphas's kangaroo court. Tell us if you're the Messiah. Pilate's cowardly compromise. What is truth? Herod's mockery. Perform a miracle for us. By 9 a.m., Jesus hung on the cross. The soldiers gambled for his clothes. The crowd jeered. At noon, darkness fell like a blanket. At 3 p.m., Jesus cried out, "It is finished," and gave up his spirit. At that moment, the massive temple veil, woven as thick as a man's hand and 60 feet tall, tore from top to bottom. The earth shook. Tombs broke open. Centurion Longinus stared up at the cross, his face pale. Surely this was the Son of God. Sunday, the empty tomb, John 20. While it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came running. "They've taken the Lord from the tomb." Peter and I raced there. The burial cloths lay perfectly in place. The head wrappings still rolled up separately, but the body was gone. As I stood in that empty tomb, the truth dawned on me. He told us this would happen. Then Jesus began appearing. To Mary in the garden, Rabboni. To us behind locked doors, peace be with you. To Thomas a week later, put your finger here. For 40 days he taught us about the kingdom.